Welcome back. It's been a while since I posted my last video. A lot of stuff going on in my life I had to take care of. In any case, let's have a little bit of a story time. So picture this. You're driving down the freeway. Everything's fine. And then all of a sudden you feel a pulsing vibration that's kind of phasing in and out, in and out. And you're like, huh, that's weird. And as soon as you have that thought of how odd this is, it stops. And the only thing weirder than it starting is it stopping. You tend to glance in your rearview mirror, and everything behind you is just this white fog coming from underneath your vehicle. You look at your gauges, and you got plenty of oil pressure, but you're running very hot. So you pull over to the side of the road, you pop the hood up, only to find that your water pump had split in half. It's, say, 6 degrees outside. You get yourself a little bit of a cold. So you call a tow truck. I know. Usually I fix everything on the side of the road and get myself home. This time I just wasn't feeling it. So in this video, we're going to be replacing a water pump. Well, seeing how most of the coolant ended up on 65 South, let's remove these hoses and release the rest of it. I also got new hoses, new clamps. We're gonna just take this one step at a time, make it all better. Alright, I'm gonna lose the alternator, which means I have to disconnect the power to it. Electrically, this truck has been an absolute nightmare. And from what I'm seeing on the back of this alternator, that is going to continue. It would appear that when the water pump broke, it took out this brace. I guess we'll have to weld that back together. What is next? We got 2 bolts on this side, 2 bolts and a bracket for the power steering pump on this side. But let's work on getting the cowl out and removing the fan. Look at that. So here's your clutch. Your fan bolts to it, and then your clutch bolts to this. Usually you don't need a flex and clutch, but okay. Now, other than the 4 bolts that hold the body to the engine, we got this one big bolt that needs to come out. Oh, and an engine ground. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be the line. Alright, let's see how many things I can slice my hand off of. There we go. Nice. Oh, wrong direction. Nothing makes you feel more confident than when your power steering pump is also your brake booster and the belt is missing teeth. Let's see if we can get this to move out of our way. There we go. We should have lower radiator hose, and then it's just the water pump. Okay, that was scary how easy that was to take out. Like I said, I'm going to replace this as well. Oh my god. There's about 13 pounds of RTV on this, which has me slightly concerned. Well, for as much RTV as there is on that, it came off a lot easier than I thought it would. Bye-bye! How easy are you gonna come off? Oh, you're gonna come off like super easy. Like mildly alarmingly easy, except for you. You are going to suck. Alright. you go. So, here on the parts table with the brand new AC Delco pump. Got this from Summit Racing. But more interesting, it's the one that I took out. I have never seen a water pump split like this before. If you have any idea what could have caused this, you know, stuck bushing or bearing or freezing, I don't know, but put it in the comments. Like I said, I always put the bolts back in the holes just because, well, now I know where it goes and I don't have to worry about losing it. With a little bit of welding magic, the bracket has been made anew. So let's start with putting this on, and then we'll probably jump to the thermostat so we can plug up the big hole in the intake. But, alright. Alright, jump cut. Much later. All the surfaces have been cleaned and prepped. Parts have been transferred from the old water pump to the new one. Alright, so storm moving in. I had to move some stuff around. Let's get this before the weather deteriorates too much worse. So next, I'm going to get this here done. This started to snowball fairly quickly with electrical issues and everything else. I'm going to try to keep this as direct to the front of the engine as I can, but there was some other stuff that I found that needed to be addressed as well. But let's do that next. Alright, new thermostat. Get the housing. Now I did, like I always do, put a thin coat of RTV onto both sides of the gasket, as well as making sure that both surfaces are extremely clean, planed. Give everything the best chance it can to seal. I'm sure those are tightened to the proper torques. Okay, looking at it now, it looks like the next thing to do will be the water pump. I'm gonna have to cut this little length of hose. I'll have it pre-attached to the pump when it all goes together. Alright, let's try to wrestle this thing in. Gaskets, hoses, and everything else in the way. All right. Two bolts. Let's see if we can get 3.
think we've had some gasket slightage here. And yes, tightening that down until you feel your pulse in your neck is the correct torque. Alright, let's finish up some brackets, get the pulley back on, see how all that's going. Ooh, the wind is kicking out. Now for the biggest question of the day. Did I weld that in the correct location? Well, that's promising. Do this bolt first. This bolt just seems like it'd be simpler. And it lines up. Nice. Alright, let's tighten that up a little bit. I'm going to rehook up the battery cable that will still need to be replaced. And then we can put the pulley on and see how everything lines up. Looks to line up pretty good. Unfortunately, it's the outer belt. Let's see what the inner belt looks like. Now, some keen-eyed viewers will remember this belt did not go around this pulley. I bought a bigger belt to see if I can accommodate that. Now, what I would like to point out is I got into an argument with the guy at the parts store. There's supposed to be an AC compressor here that belt would go up and over. And there was two options, with and without AC. This obviously doesn't have AC, so I got the without AC. The gentleman at the store argued with me, saying that that wouldn't work. Obviously it does. Just a little petty bickering. Okay, so with that there, that looks all nice and lined up. Let's get this on here and then we can tighten down some belts. So changing out a clutch on a clutch fan, which is this part here, it's these 4 bolts. The fan comes off, goes on the other one, bolts in the same 4 spots. This flange here bolts to your water pump. Now, one thing I want to point out, I don't understand why, but they put a flex fan on a clutch. That's not what you do. No parts stores have a fan. They all have these flex fans. Flex fans are what you put on if you don't have a clutch, because at higher RPMs these flatten out, and because you're going at a higher speed you don't need as much air going through your radiator. It's the same idea as the clutch, just without the clutch, so you usually don't double that up. What size you are. Alright. Put this back into place. Okay, and this is just going to involve tightening down these 4 bolts. It's also going to, as I tighten them down, straighten up this pulley, because the pulley's just sitting on the 4 studs. Alright, we are a couple radiator hoses away from this being done. Over there. That will go there. All we just need to do is tighten it down. There is a barb on the end of this filler neck and radiator. You want to make sure that the clamp is evenly around that. Alright. Upper and lower radiator hoses are installed. Alright, doesn't look like it's hitting anything. Everything's attached. Let's pour in some coolant, see if it leaks, fire it up, see if the thermostat does thermostat stuff. So today's menu is pre-diluted Redstone. Well, the weather has officially reached us. Let's see if we can get this done before it gets too bad. At 4.5 gallons, I'm going to call it and say it's ready to be started. Tool check, we're good. Put this here. All right. I didn't throw any belts. The thermostat should have popped. We should be flowing, starting to perp up over here, so getting the air out. So far, I don't see any leaks anywhere, which is good. have it. System burp that drew another half gallon into it. Time to button this up. And until next time. And it looks like just in time, the rain is here. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.